Hello Houston, this is Jason, the Science Outreach Manager and the Life Science Educator at the Children's Museum Houston. I am inside the Power Science Lab and we're about to do a fun activity about pH balance brought to you by Texas Children's Hospital. Let's get to experimenting. Science is fun, but it can also be dangerous. So please have an adult with you during this experiment the whole time. When you're dealing with household products, things like bleach and borax, you really want to protect yourself. So go ahead and have an adult help you out, and please wear eye protection. Gather these supplies to do this pH experiment. You're going to want some cups because everything that you're going to test needs to be in its own cup. You're going to want a measuring spoon because some of the things you're testing are powders that need to be mixed in this solution. You can use the measuring spoon to stir with, or you can get a different spoon to stir with. And then the products I'm going to use right now are vinegar, lemon juice, bleach, borax, and baking soda. There is one last ingredient you need, or material you need, but we'll save that for a moment. Boom! This is the most important material you need. This right here is cabbage juice. Now in a moment we're going to show you how to make your cabbage juice, but let me first explain why this is so important. Your cabbage juice has a water-soluble pigment inside of it called anthocyanin. This anthocyanin is a pH indicator. What is pH? That is potential hydrogen. Potential hydrogen lets you know if something is a base or if something is an acid. Now, when we start to do the experiment, I'm not going to tell you which ones are acids and bases. We're going to first look to see what happens, and then I'll tell you which ones are acids and bases, depending on what they do. But like I said, this is what you need to determine acidity and basicness. The pipette here is cool to have, but you don't need it. You can just spoon in cabbage juice if you don't have a pipette. I will be using a pipette though. Once you have your cabbage juice in the cup, you're going to go ahead and pour some lemon juice in the cup, some vinegar in a cup, some bleach in the cup. You're going to make a solution of borax and water. About a tablespoon of borax in this amount of water is really good. And you're going to make a solution of baking soda and water. Same thing, about a tablespoon of baking soda and you should be good. Make sure to use warm water if you can and stir them up pretty good. Typically with the borax, some will settle at the bottom. Your baking soda, it really won't happen that much. Now remember, we're looking for the pH of each of these. So what we have to do is come back to the cabbage juice. I'm going to use my pipette, and then I'm going to pour this into the lemon juice, and we're going to see if it changes color. So I'm going to go ahead and pour some in. Uh-oh. Look at it. It's turning a reddish color. It's not even turning a purple color. So I'm going to put about 3 in, swirl it up, and we have this reddish color. We'll explain what that means in a moment. Let's move on to the vinegar. Oh wow, look at how it's changing. It's very, very red. Look at that. Very red. So that's interesting, huh? Let's go ahead and put this one down now. So we have sort of an orangish red color here, and we have a very, very red color here. Let's move on to the bleach. Again, we're going to put 3 inside and see what happens. It doesn't look like much is happening to the bleach. Oh, or is it happening? It looks like it's turning green, doesn't it? So we did 3. I'll swirl it up. And look, it turned green. So it turned a totally different color than the vinegar and the lemon juice. Awesome. Let's go on to the borax, see what happens. Doesn't look like much is happening with the borax. Looks like it's staying pretty neutral. Doesn't look like much is happening here. Well, let's see, maybe it takes a minute. All right, let's try the baking soda last. Oh, look at the baking soda. Immediately turning this very, very bluish color. Look at that, very blue in color. These two here, the lemon juice that sort of turned orange and the vinegar that turned a very bright red, they are acids. There is citric acid inside of lemon juice and there is acetic acid inside of vinegar. Now on a pH scale, it's easy to understand if you know the numbering. The neutral liquid is water and it has a pH of 7. Anything going from 6 down to 0 is an acid, low potential hydrogen. 6 down to 0 is low potential hydrogen. Anything going from 8 to 14 or beyond, those are bases. They have high potential hydrogen. So let's go ahead and take a look at the other three. You notice that this one here, which was the bleach, turned green. Nothing really happened with the borax. And the one with the baking soda turned blue. Let's go ahead and remove the borax and put these two together. These are bases. Acids turn red. Bases go to green and blue. And that's how you know it's a base or an acid. So because they're different colors, the basicness of both of these is different. Because this one's green, it's probably a little bit higher. Because this one's blue, it's probably a little bit lower. So you can see with all of this that the anthocyanin from the cabbage juice, which is a pigment indicator, showed you which ones are acids and which ones are bases. If you try other products, say Sprite or milk or any other kind of liquid you have in your house, it'll probably change a different color as well. If you want, you can take your chemistry further. You might have heard that acids and bases don't mix. Let's go ahead and put them back on the table and see what happens when we pour the vinegar into the baking soda solution. A chemical reaction occurred. What happened is, when we put that inside, we broke down the baking soda, which is also known as sodium bicarbonate, and it created the gas carbon dioxide, which then caused it to bubble up. Thank you for joining me for this fun pH experiment. If you're watching this video on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button for me. That way you can watch all the fun videos that we have to offer, not just the science ones. We have music, we have Mr. O's oh wow moments, we have story times, all kinds of good stuff, and I don't want you to miss any of it. Now, if you are doing this experiment at home, take a picture of what you've done, especially if you're using different products that I'm using. Take a picture and then place it in our social media sites. We have Facebook, we have Twitter, we have Instagram, and we want to see it on all three of them if you can do that for us. Once again, let's go ahead and thank Texas Children's Hospital for allowing me to do this experiment. I do hope to see you soon. I hope you're having a great day. And this is Jason saying goodbye for now.